back to My Bouch, episode 8, with me, your girl Rizzo, where every week, me and a few of my friends get together to watch, recap, and review HBO's hit series Insecure. With everything that's been going on, we need it. Let's get to it.
Why men great till they gotta be great?
Up first, we've got another Queens native, my fourth Prep for Lifer. Come on, loyalty. The woman who was once president of her PWI. Do y'all hear me? There were white people calling this woman president. Okay. Unlike Kelly Rowland's Instagram, she is dropping that thirst trap. My girl Dara. What's up, boo? Hey. Come on, girl. How are you?
Good.
Y'all can't see, but the background balloons say happy birthday. She just had a birthday. So happy belated, boo.
Thank you.
Up next, we've got a special guest. This is the first sibling of a My Bouch guest. And just like her sister, if you look Harlem Girl up in the dictionary, there shall they be, with their full floor-length meeks. She is one half of the audio and video production team for a lot of the things that Olinka drops on my Instagram page. She has won more marathons and won more races than the Kennedys combined. My girl, Nazinga. Hey, Lou. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Okay, guys, this episode filled me so much. I am a stan for Lawrence and Issa. I can't get enough of them. Honestly, from the mature conversations between exes to the TSA, bleh, I couldn't get enough of this episode. I watched this episode not once, not twice, but 5 times. And it's the same thing over and over. I'm not the person who contacts Issa, who's trolling her basically at this point, Issa, to be like, I need an hour episode. This half hour was good enough for me. I just wanted more of it. Like, the same thing. I wanted it over and over and over. I stand for Issa and Lawrence. But I've heard that everyone is not the same. Ladies, do you believe in an Issa and Lawrence relationship? And if so, let me know why. And if not, let me know why.
I believe in it. I feel like I am Issa. I felt like I was watching myself.
Oh my God, I love that.
Like I was watching myself and my ex. It was crazy. I usually watch the Insecure episodes like 2 or 3 times. But this one was so personal and just so like, I'm like, am I watching me? Is Issa me? Am I Issa? What is going on? It was hard to rewatch, but it was so good. So good, so relatable.
So you want to see Issa and Lawrence together in the end?
I can't say that. I can't say that, but you can't deny their chemistry, you can't deny their connection and their history, but they both just seem so content and so happy where they are right now. I can't say that I'm ready to rock the boat.
Dara, where are you?
I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted.
Why?
I understand the love that they have. I just think that it's kind of complicated now at this point. I feel like parts of the episode made it complicated, and in previous episodes, I didn't really agree with Molly about things being messy, but I feel like right now it's really messy.
You think Issa and Lawrence are messy? I think this is the cleanest they've ever been. Mine is not using a condom. But you know, like, this is it. No?
If we were talking about Condola, we can call that trick messy all day. But Issa and Lawrence, this is like meant to be. This is like mythic.
Right. Dara, who do you want to see Issa with?
I don't know. I'm conflicted. I'm really conflicted. Like, I understand her chemistry. I don't really believe she has chemistry with Nathan. I really don't believe that she has chemistry with Nathan. So I see the chemistry that she has with Lawrence, but I don't know.
Well, what about I don't know, because that Coachella scene from last season where they made love on the Ferris wheel, that was chemistry to me.
Yeah, I get that. They jumped in the pool naked. I'm still team Issa and Lawrence.
That was old. Like, I feel like that chemistry was old. We haven't seen that chemistry here in this season.
I want that old thing back. And that it's Lawrence with his new arms and his new muscles. Please don't leave.
And
who was that fuck for? Who was that sex moment for? Was that for Issa or was it for Lawrence? Or both?
I really think it was for Lawrence.
Why?
Lawrence is conflicted this whole episode. Like, I feel like Issa is like very clear and she's very transparent this whole episode, and I feel like Lawrence is like here and there and here and there, and like him taking the phone calls, I just felt like he didn't know where he wanted to be, even though he ended up at the end of the night with Issa.
Maybe not on his accord though.
So here's the thing. I think Lawrence was on some real, cut me if I can't say this, but this is the only way I know how to say it. He was on some nigga shit. Like,
I was gonna say fuckboy shit, but that works. Yep.
yeah, he was on some real like fuckboy shit, nigga shit, however you want to call it. Lawrence was gonna smash that night, whether it was Issa or Condola, but I think it was like meant to be that it was Issa.
Damn. Do we think Lawrence would have stopped her if she hadn't turned around? Like he would have been content going to Condola, or was it like I need to be with Issa?
He said he was happy. He said he was happy with the way that the day went, but I don't know if he would have stopped her. But we gotta commend Issa in that moment for bossing up and finally like speaking up for herself. Like we've never seen Issa just say, "This is what I want. This is I want to stay. I don't want to go." So I was just so proud of her and her womanhood and her growth in that moment. And sometimes you just gotta tell these men what it is. Like, I don't want to go. Let's continue our night.
You just broke my heart because even though I saw it in the episode, I didn't realize like he was gonna have sex with someone. If it wasn't Issa, it would have been Condola, and you're exactly right. And now I don't want to watch the episode anymore. Thank you for that moment. What's up with Condola? Why do you think she's calling?
Just go away. Go away, Condola. Go away.
Thank you!
We don't want
That
you
was
here.
like, I'm connected.
I think Condola is like in this weird, I wouldn't say midlife crisis, but I would say like midlife crisis where she already has been divorced. She like wants to live her free, be like, I don't want commitment right now because now I'm afraid of being in a marriage because a marriage means that I might end up in divorce again and I can't go through that heartbreak. Really going through the motions, and I feel like she didn't expect to meet someone like Lawrence at this point in her life and like see herself or her friends seeing herself with him, and so now she's just like, damn, I had this vision for myself, I had this clear goal, and you could see that she's very goal oriented, but like, could I do this? Could it be him? And I feel like now she's going back and forth with herself because maybe she made a decision or said something too soon and didn't give it a chance.
So you think she broke up with Lawrence? You don't think Lawrence broke up with her?
We never got that clarity.
We never did. You know, and I brought this up on your sister's episode, but nobody wanted to hear me. Do we think there's a break baby here? Is Condola pregnant? I know. In my heart of hearts, I'm like, Issa, please don't write in this hood rat shit in this episode.
That would be the ultimate messy thing that could ever happen.
And then people were talking about because Issa went to pee twice in this episode. Is she pregnant? Oh,
No, she was just, you know how when you've been out on a date and sometimes you want to go to the bathroom and just make sure things, you know, might want to hit it with a Summer's Eve wipe or something. Like, that's all she was doing. She was just checking.
She had a whole bath. She went to ranch off. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
She was like, let me go wipe this. Let me go feel, because I'm about to stay. He gonna tell me he wants to.
She was checking on that cooch. That's all she was doing. But Condola and pregnancy, so let me just say this. I don't think that there's enough time. There's 2 more episodes. I don't think we have time for a bomb like that. But the way she was acting at the block party, kind of all misty-eyed and like, you know, standoffish, I don't think a pregnancy is far-fetched, but I would be devastated if the writers did that to us.
Devastated. Like, literally heartbroken, guys. I can't deal with that. Please don't. I know people, I don't want to compare this to Sex and the City because I watched that shit, but I clearly wasn't in this mindset. And, you know, I can relate to those characters anyway. But, like, you remember, I don't know if you guys saw, but the Big, like, it was Big and Aiden. Is this Nathan and Lawrence? And is Lawrence just going to come back and they're going to get married? Like, I need this. I need them to live happily ever after. No.
But what if he ends up going to San Francisco? Like, this could be it for Lawrence on Insecure.
Oh my God, that was how I was going to end it. But do we think this is it? Do we think this is the last time we're going to see Lawrence?
No, they can't cut Lawrence out. He probably got a couple more checks to go.
He's in movies.
He he had his directorial debut. So maybe they will get rid of the Lawrence character and he might be like a behind the scenes type person.
He's also been in other movies. Like, he's had other roles because of Insecure. So maybe he's done with the season. Oh,
It's a possibility.
I don't think so.
I can't. There really is nobody else for Issa. Like, I didn't get that vibe off of the Nathan thing. I haven't, TSA Bay, Gamer Bay. I didn't get any of it. It's only Lawrence. Okay, ladies. Also in this episode, we saw a recurring theme of embarrassment. Not only did Issa fall down in the bar in front of everyone, but Lawrence popped the mint and he choked on it. Issa got embarrassed by TSA Bay outside in front of her man. Excuse me, look at me, prophetic, in front of Lawrence, not her man. I know, you see what I want? And guys, we know how it goes with our dudes we'd like to unfuck. Those guys who we want to forget about and never see. So to have TS Bay come up in her face in public, in front of Lawrence, and just be so polar opposite, I can only imagine how Issa might be feeling. Ladies, can you tell me about an embarrassing moment that you had, whether it be on a date, if you tripped when you saw a really cute guy, or just an interaction that you may have had with a dude you'd like to unfuck, or an ex? No shade.
So I've never face planted like Issa. Like, only Issa can face plant like that, because that's just like classic awkward black girl. That hasn't happened to me yet, and I hope it never happens.
Yeah, right? I don't know.
I have like I was going to a date in Brooklyn. Me and the guy had like met up earlier, so we took the train there together. Let me just set the scene for you. Atlantic Terminal, Atlantic Avenue Station, crowded, rush hour. I tripped up the stairs, lost my shoe. He was in front of me. So now I'm like mad at him, like, you didn't see me fall, you didn't save me, a stranger had to help me put my shoe back on, you're not a man. And then I had to like apologize because I was dramatic because I was just embarrassed.
Yeah.
But we recovered.
Was this the first date?
No, thank God. It wasn't the first date, but it was still early on. We recovered from it because he goofy too.
Good.
But that was pretty traumatic. Fell up the stairs at Atlantic Terminal.
Yo, Atlantic Terminal, for you guys who don't know, Atlantic Terminal is like one of the busiest terminals. You have like trains going, into Manhattan. You have trains going into Queens and Long Island. There's shopping area. It's a lot. So everyone saw you. Not to bring you back. That's embarrassing. Dara, what you got?
So,
Thanks.
First of all, I will say I have tripped outside of a restaurant going out. So like plausible, and it happens.
Like face plant?
Not face plant, but like caught myself before I was gonna face plant. Like almost pre face plant. So I don't think that stores or restaurants should have steps on steps, because there's no. Anyways, so keeping in this theme of my birthday, this is the one I remember the most. I was at dinner with my ex for my birthday, and we had like finished the meal, and I turn and I go to him. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You need to tell him that it's my birthday, so I can get my dessert. Like, I need to get my free dessert. And he's just like, wait until like the dessert menu comes out, and then we can decide then. I was like, no, it needs to be free. Like, we don't need to be paid for this.
Like, alpha women. What's wrong with us?
And he's like, okay, whatever. So we go on the dessert menu. I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, I want this dessert. He's like, okay, cool. And I was like, do you want me to go to the bathroom? Like, when are you gonna make this move? And then literally like maybe a couple seconds later, the waiter comes out singing happy birthday with like the rest of the group of people and like the dessert. And I was just like,
and that's why you're now ex-boyfriend and ex-girlfriend. Like, no.
I was just like, I am very controlling.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is very embarrassing. He was like, you could have just waited. Like,
oh, that's kind of, yeah. Poor guy. Not poor guy. I mean, it's okay. Yikes. So I'll give two moments. When people ask me about my most embarrassing moment, like in life, I always think about this. And I probably need to go to therapy because there's no reason why I should be thinking about this. We have in junior high school in New York, we have proms, right? So I don't know if y'all had like a prom, but I had a prom at IS 59. I didn't know how to do heels back then, you know what I'm saying? But we got heels for our prom. This is in 8th grade? No, wait. Yeah, this is in 8th grade. I only remember because I had the real hard curls. I remember having a long pink dress with tulle on the bottom, and I took my heels off because who can dance in heels? Yeah, this was middle school. I don't know where we're coming from, but I'm walking back into like the dance floor area, and y'all, I trip over I step on my tulle and literally fully fall. Like, fully fall. I mean, I got up quick, but that was a full ass, because you can't catch yourself, you're just tripping on the tool. And I remember our math teacher, he saw me and he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I'm good. You know, just acting like nothing happened. But anyway, that's not a date moment. But I was just like, oh my God, that's my most embarrassing moment in life. A date moment that I had, sometimes I'll go on dates with guys or a date, and then I'll realize they're not the one. And so it's much easier for me to just ghost you. Really, I just try to let the conversation die out. I'm not gonna fully ghost you, I'm just not gonna engage. And then after a while, we're gonna die out. So then I'm on another date with someone else. As we're walking into Chocolat, who do I see? But the 2 dates ago ghoster. And I'm like, oh shit, how do you handle this? Like, what do you do? And good, you know, he knew what it was. He could tell. He was with his boy. And he just came up to me, gave me a hug, how you doing? And we went our separate ways. And I was like, that's a mature way to do it. Could have been a TSA Lawrence moment, but ooh, thank you for being mature. I don't remember his name actually. I just know what his profession is. So ladies, New York is also a very different dynamic in that we don't typically have walks of shame. We may have train rides of shame. We may have Uber rides of shame. Maybe in college you have campus walks of shame. But I really loved what people should, saw as like Issa's culmination of her homo, because a whole phase is not complete unless you have a walk of fame. A walk of shame. Let's just put that out there. You have to have a walk of shame if you have your whole moment. Ladies, have you ever, not to put yourself out there, have you ever, or a friend, have you ever had a walk of shame in your life? Because Issa had her whole heels on, her same panties from last night, the jeans. Thankfully, she had a whole new shirt. But she had a walk of shame.
But no, wait. I don't, like Donna, I don't look at that as a walk of shame. That walk was everything to me. That was my favorite scene of the show. Like, to me, she was just so content and satisfied without expectation. Like,
it was a walk of ownership, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
but it could be misconstrued as a walk of shame because it's early in the morning, you got red boots on.
Yeah.
But I get it. I like that view. Okay, so let me turn that around. Maybe not a shameful walk. Have you worn your party outfit the next day? Maybe to work?
Of course.
Oh,
of course.
To work.
I don't know your life. I may or may not have another shirt in my office drawer, just saying, that I want back now that we're quarantined, No, okay, all right, so y'all not gonna say anything. I'll go through. I lived in Queens. I used to date a guy at Columbia. My walk of shame looked like me sitting my ass on a 2-hour train ride at night because the trains, there's no more express. So you were just on the train, like just rocking, just on the train like, bitch, why are you up right? It's 2 a.m. in the morning. It's not the morning walk of shame, but it's 2 a.m. Your little ass is going from one end of the train to the next. This is embarrassing. Take your ass on. And we can't pay for Ubers. There was no Ubers back then, actually. It was yellow taxis, and yellow taxis don't go to Queens, so.
I guess my equivalent would be my very kind of like first sleepover with my now ex. Who I'm just like, me and my ex are Issa and Lawrence. Like, we were together for years, same kind of like humor and banter and chemistry, but it just ain't work out. So our first like kind of like at home date, which turned into a sleepover, you know, me, I'm trying to be a lady. Like, I didn't come over with the intent to sleep over. So it was probably like midnight. He lived like near Williamsburg in Brooklyn. I lived in Harlem. So at midnight, especially like in the summertime, the trains go onto a different schedule. I could only make it like 2 stops from his house before it was like, there's no way I'm making it back to Harlem because the trains are just not running. So we're like texting, and he's like, Z, just come back. Like, why did you even attempt to do this dummy mission this time of night? You know the trains are not working. So my walk of shame was coming back into his house saying, like, I just should have been a hoe from the jump. I should have just came over ready to stay the night. I don't know why I was trying to be classy. We both know what it is.
Not a hoe.
So that was my walk of shame, walking back into his house after I tried to be classy.
That's real. So Nazika, you mentioned that you and your ex, who dated for a long period of time, it sounds like you guys are friends. There's like an amicable relationship there? Not friends, but like more like an Issa and Lawrence relationship. How did you guys get there? And did you have a closure moment like Issa and Lawrence?
So the episode was emotional because we didn't have the closure like date the way Issa and Lawrence did. We do keep in touch. We have spoken since the breakup, which was amicable. I think because of the type of relationship that we had, we will always have love for each other.
Yeah.
But Lawrence displayed a type of masculinity that we don't always see in real life, in that he owned up to not feeling like he was enough. He owned up to, like, we all know Issa cheated, but he kind of like asked the questions guys don't really ask and kind of like initiate it. And I'm just like, a lot of men don't do that. And my ex also didn't do that. He's just kind of like, I could have been better. I should have been better. But like, no, like ownership of, you know, watching you go to work Lawrence was very explicit, like, watching you go to work every day was hard for me. Men don't say that.
Yeah.
Men don't say that. So no, we didn't have like that type of closure relationship. I think there was always going to be a love for one another because we spent so much time together. Essentially, we're like best friends for 4 years.
Right.
I don't want to label it for him because he hasn't labeled it for himself yet. But I do think some things were going on, and he kind of just tapped out. And like Issa, I just felt I didn't feel wanted. Like, you don't want me anymore.
Yeah.
So I made the decision to end the relationship. I did get to the point where Issa was and cheated. But months later, I kind of like hit him up, like, I made that decision for us. I just kind of want to hear where you were in that time.
Yeah.
And I think he owned up to it as much as he could, but I could still see he was dealing with his stuff. So the conversation wasn't as fruitful as Lawrence and Issa's.
Yeah.
But watching them made me like hope and kind of get all sentimental. Like, will I get that moment? Like, almost like a fairy tale. Like, I want that for me.
We can forward this on to him. So Dara, what about you? Have you ever had a moment where you dated someone and you guys were able to have a friendly or just a acquaintance, an amicable relationship after the relationship ended?
Yeah, I'm not really a person who was friends with my exes.
Okay, look.
I like to sever the leg. I'm one of those people that's just like, if this is done, this is done. Because I feel like, especially when you're with people for long periods of time, like, I understand what you're saying, that person becomes like your best friend. Like, so you see something that happens, and you're like, oh my God, I want to text them. And I feel like I need to draw back those feelings sometimes, because then I immediately get more attached, and that friendship becomes something more than a friendship, and then we get back into these cycles. So for me, I don't really like once it's over and once we say this is done, we're not going to rekindle this, I kind of chop the leg off, and then sometimes they still want to talk, and I'm just like, I'll be the bigger person here and block.
I respect that fully.
Issa and Lawrence also share a friend circle, though.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's hard.
All right, ladies. So as we do every episode, the guest from the last episode left you a question. Let's throw to it.
Hey guys, so as we do every week, you guys have to leave a question for the next guest.
So, as we've been talking, it's sort of like, all right, seasons 1, 2, 3 we've allowed them to sort of like not take life so serious, kind of buck up a little bit, figure themselves out. Issa seems to be finally figuring out her career, her professional life, right? Coming into her own, which is a big defining moment for people in their late 20s, early 30s. I'm pretty sure everyone in the cast is over 30. So she's like stamped in, I'm gonna throw events and connect people who need to be connected and give back to the community, and like, this is what I'm doing. Molly is deep in her profession. She's an attorney, etc., right? Amanda Seale's character had a baby. I forget her name. So everyone is kind of growing up, so to speak, on the show. So I'm interested to see how they continue to grow, but at a faster pace. So I personally don't want to see the next season be anything like this season, because I just feel like, while I've learned a lot from you two actually, and how important it is and like how subtle it is and everything like that, I want to see them grow a bit more. Like someone has to have a baby, or something that pushes them into, because I mean, if it's the 5th season, it's 5 years in, they're 35 at this point, unless they're like aging 1 year every 3 seasons or something like that, right? So
it's only a year and a half, actually.
Oh, it's only a year and a half?
The span of the show, the timeline is only a year and a half. So that's why Issa Rae in real life is like, 33, 34. But on the show, she's only 30.
For me, it's around growth. And other than wanting to get back with Lawrence, I don't think that Lawrence defines Issa's character. I think her character is much bigger than being with Lawrence or not. What do you want for Issa? Right? Like, what do you want to see Issa accomplish? What do you want for her? Even if it is romantic, but take all the characters that exist now out of it. What do you want for her? Like, what do you see her working toward, that you want to see her accomplish next season?
It seems like the missing part to me when it comes to Issa is more so the romantic aspect of it, because that's what she's been searching for this entire time.
Right. I think you're right in that is the sort of like denouement, right? Like, after she has her moment of, I've achieved this personal achievement, I'm ready for it, here's my big decision. And I think the viewers will be interested in that, but I don't know. I think I'm personally, selfishly want to see something other than that be the finale. But I do think that, like, if we look at the story, that is the story, right? Like, that is the end.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Issa Rae has mentioned that she already knows how the show is going to end. So every season, every episode, she has intention on where the show is going and making sure that storyline is still getting to that end point.
I think I agree with that summed up question. What does that end point look like? And I would challenge it not to just be Issa, but also be Molly, because it seems like those two are the main characters of this whole series.
Okay, ladies, so that was a great question. Thank you, JD and Kenny. These men want to know where you think this story will end.
So I want to see Issa formalize her business as a cultural curator. I don't think that was the only reason we saw her grow so much, but it kind of is what kind of made her confident in her ability. So I really want to see her go for it and continue to do it, because we saw what it meant to her to put the block party off and it be successful. Molly, I just want to see Molly in therapy. Like, Molly, she's good career-wise. I don't think Asian Bay is forever, but I do think that she needs to make therapy a forever thing for her.
What about romantically for Issa? So now you only mentioned the career, the professional side. Do we think that that's going to be her storyline, and she's not really going to... It's not an ending with a romantic ending? It's just growth?
So I have to disagree with your past guess. So maybe I disagree and agree a little bit. So this season hasn't been as thrilling as seasons 1 through 3 have been, but we saw our characters, particularly Molly, Issa, even Lawrence, grow in a way and develop in a way that we've never seen. And I think character development is, especially with shows, like this is the only show for Black millennials, right? Like this is the only show for us where we see ourselves in the show. We see, you know, we've been in the scenarios they've been in. We're in Black millennials, we're in spaces where we're evolving too. So we want to see these characters who we watch because they're like us. We want to see them evolve. So I appreciate and I understand what Issa did with this season. Love interest, part of what I also loved about watching her grow this season was there wasn't really a love interest that was like meaningful. Like we saw TSA Bay, but that was just about the sex and whatever free Henny she was getting out of that, or free security. Nathan is kind of like there, but not there, more of a friend. Lawrence, even though we saw her rekindle something with Lawrence, I don't think this is them getting back together. I think Issa is just kind of like she said in the episode, is making happiness a choice. And happiness for her, I think she's defining as it doesn't have to have this strong love interest. I just kind of like do me. As a woman, I fuck when I want to fuck. You know what I mean? Like I hang out with you when I want to hang out with you. So I don't think I need to see what society says is a happy ending, which is Issa in a committed relationship with a guy. I don't need that from this.
Yes, Tracy Ellis.
Seeing Issa raise her confidence level definitely is something that I want to see. I feel multiple times throughout previous episodes, she looked to Condola for like her sense of confidence. Even like when she went up to go to speak, she looked at her, there was like that eye contact. Even after things were over, she like followed in and checked in with her. It was always just like she needed someone to confirm what she was doing was the correct thing. Yeah. And I feel like she just needs to take a step of faith and walk out there on her own and be her own entrepreneur. And that just, like, her getting that confidence is what I really want to see at the end of this series. In terms of her in a relationship, you know how I feel about that Lawrence Issa thing. Like, I'm kind of weird about it. Like, I get it. I get the want to have, like, the old love back. But I feel like as she moves on in her trajectory, she'll stop attracting the same type of men. And I feel like Nathan and Lawrence are similar in certain aspects. And so, I feel like she's ready for something new, but she doesn't know it yet because she hasn't gotten that confidence level. And then for Molly, I think Molly is confused. I really don't know what Molly's rift is this whole like, I really don't understand. I don't understand why she's mad. The only person who I understand why she's mad at is her dad. Like, I get the dad thing. Like, everyone else, I'm like, she's really wilding right now.
Do you think they'll be friends in the end?
I think they'll be friends because there was nothing to argue about. Like, I don't think that, like, I think that if anything, Molly has attacked Issa more than Issa has attacked Molly. And so in terms of that just confidence level from Issa, I think that will help her have the conversation with Molly to make it come out like as a friendship, because Molly is definitely the stronger personality and the person who's always just like right at the end of the situation. And I feel like Issa's always taken like that backseat friendship. Like, okay, I agree, fine, cool, let's just make up, let's get back together. But like once she gets that confidence level and barks back, I think that that's going to be the determining factor of like, does Molly accept Issa for the person that she's becoming, which is not the person who she was before.
Right. All right. We gotta see. How many seasons? I don't even know. We always strive to get to the season 7 so that you can get on Netflix and have syndication, but we'll see. Okay, thank you ladies so much for joining me. This was great. I'll see you guys next week on My Bouch, episode 9. Bye.